New York City got a new mayor. This happened on November 4, 2025. The people of New York chose Zohran Mamdani as their new leader. He is 34 years old. He is a democratic socialist. His win was important for the city. It also caused a big reaction across the country. President Donald Trump is the leader of the United States. He was not happy about Mamdani's win. He quickly shared his thoughts. On his social media platform, Truth Social, President Trump wrote a short message. It said, "And so it begins." This was a warning of trouble to come. After this first message, President Trump spoke more. He used strong words against Zohran Mamdani. He called the new mayor a communist. He also called him a 100% communist lunatic. President Trump made threats. He said he would stop sending money from the national government to New York City. He even talked about sending the National Guard. This showed that President Trump was very angry. He saw Mamdani's election as a big problem. Zohran Mamdani did not stay silent. In his speech after winning the election, he spoke directly to President Trump. He sent a clear message. Mamdani said, "To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us." He also told President Trump, "Turn the volume up." These words showed that Mamdani was ready to fight back. He would not be afraid. This fight is more than just words between two men. It is a big political conflict. It raises important questions about America. It asks about the power of the president. It also asks about the power of city leaders. There are very different ideas about how the government should work. This disagreement between President Trump and Mayor Mamdani is a big test for American democracy. A major political fight is about to start between the national government and New York City. 2. A new mayor. Zohran Mamdani is the new mayor of New York City. He is a young man, only 34 years old. Mamdani's personal story is like many New Yorkers. He was born in Uganda to Indian parents. His family came to New York when he was 7. This experience shaped his views about life in America and the city. He understands what it means to start fresh in a new place. Mamdani openly identifies as a democratic socialist. This political idea suggests that the government should work more for common people. It means using government power to make life better for everyone. He believes that society should be more fair. He thinks that big businesses and very rich people should contribute more through taxes. This extra money could then fund important public services for all citizens. His main goal is to help working-class families and those who struggle with daily costs. During his mayoral campaign, Mamdani focused on the big challenges New Yorkers face. He often talked about the high cost of living. Many people found it hard to afford a home or even daily food. He pointed out the growing gap between the very rich and ordinary people. Mamdani promised to fight for a city where everyone has a chance to succeed, not just a few. His campaign offered clear plans to address these issues. He proposed creating city-run grocery stores to make food more affordable for everyone. He also wanted to make public transportation free, which would save commuters a lot of money each year. Another key promise was universal childcare, ensuring all families have access to affordable care for their children. He also pushed for rent freezes. This would protect tenants from sudden and large increases in rent. To pay for these big plans, he suggested significantly raising taxes on the wealthy and large corporations. Mamdani's victory was truly historic for many reasons. He is the first Muslim mayor of New York City. He is also the first mayor of South Asian background. Additionally, he is the first mayor born in Africa. At 34, he became the youngest mayor the city has seen in over 100 years. He won with more than 1 million votes, capturing 50.4% of the general election vote. This strong win showed that a lot of New Yorkers were ready for his new ideas. His election marked a major change, showing that voters want leaders who will directly tackle inequality and support the city's diverse working population. 3. The President's words. President Donald Trump reacted quickly and strongly to the election of Zohran Mamdani. He used powerful words against the new mayor of New York City. Soon after the election results were known, President Trump posted a short warning message on his social media platform. He wrote, "And so it begins." This message showed his immediate anger and concern about the new leadership. In the days that followed, President Trump often called Zohran Mamdani a communist. He used other strong names too, like 100% communist lunatic and pure communist. President Trump argued that people had faced a choice between communism and common sense in the election. He said that Miami might become a refuge for those fleeing communism in New York City. He also made it clear that as long as he was in the White House, the United States would not become communist. These strong labels were not just words. President Trump also made clear threats. He talked about stopping federal money from going to New York City. He explained to journalists that it would be hard for him, as president, to give money to New York if a communist was running it. He believed that any federal money sent to the city under Mamdani would simply be wasted. This was a very serious warning because New York City relies on federal funding for many important services and projects. President Trump also expressed mixed feelings about New York itself. He told Fox News he was torn because he loves New York and wanted the city to do well. However, he also believed Mamdani's ideas were taking the city in the wrong direction. This showed his personal connection to the city where he built his business, even while disagreeing with its new mayor. Furthermore, President Trump saw Mamdani's win and his first speech as a direct challenge. He described Mamdani's victory speech as having a very angry tone. Trump believed Mamdani was off to a bad start and should have been very nice to him. He stated that he was the person who approves a lot of things coming to him. This idea from President Trump showed his expectation that local leaders should respect and follow the national government. His strong words made it clear that he saw Mamdani as a political opponent. This meant a major conflict was about to begin between the federal government and New York City Hall. 4. The rules of power. President Donald Trump made many threats. He said he would stop sending federal money to New York City. He believed this would hurt Mayor Mamdani and the city. But can a president really do this? The rules of power in America are important, and they put limits on what a president can do. The United States Constitution sets clear limits on the president's power. It does not give the president full control over federal money. This important power belongs to Congress. Congress is the part of the government that makes laws. It is responsible for deciding how federal money is spent and where it goes. This is known as the power of the purse. The president cannot simply decide to stop money that Congress has already approved for a city or state. To make this even clearer, there is a specific law called the Impoundment Control Act of 1974. This law strictly prohibits a president from holding back funds that Congress has already passed and approved. If the president wants to prevent money from going to its planned destination, he needs to get approval from Congress. Without Congress's agreement, a president cannot just stop federal funding by himself. President Trump has tried similar actions in the past, both during his first term and in the current administration. For example, in 2020, he attempted to cut funding for some cities, calling them anarchist jurisdictions. However, federal courts quickly stepped in and blocked these efforts. Judges ruled that his threats were not legally valid and that he was overstepping his constitutional authority. The court said that this power belonged to Congress, not the president. More recently, in his second term in 2025, President Trump tried again to freeze federal funding in a broader way. But once more, multiple courts temporarily stopped his actions. One judge, Judge Ali Khan, wrote that the administration's actions run roughshod over a bulwark of the Constitution by interfering with Congress's control of federal funds. This means that while President Trump can threaten and speak strongly, his actual ability to cut funding to cities is greatly limited by law. 5. History repeats itself. The conflict between President Donald Trump and Mayor Zohran Mamdani is not new. History often shows us similar struggles between leaders and cities. In the past, other radical leaders have also faced big problems when they tried to bring new ideas to power. Looking at these moments can help us understand what difficulties Mamdani might experience as New York City's new mayor. One important example is Fiorello LaGuardia. He served as the mayor of New York City from 1934 to 1946. LaGuardia, though a Republican, governed with ideas often seen as left-wing. He strongly supported labor unions, created public aid programs during the Great Depression, and built city housing. He also fought corruption. His efforts greatly helped working-class people. However, LaGuardia had a key advantage that Mamdani does not have. President Franklin Roosevelt was in the White House then. Roosevelt's New Deal programs provided a lot of federal money and support for LaGuardia's big projects. The federal government was a partner, not an enemy, to LaGuardia's plans. This is a big difference for Mamdani, who faces strong opposition from President Trump. Other leaders have also met challenges. Norman Thomas, a socialist leader, ran for New York City mayor in the 1920s and 1930s. His attempts showed how hard it can be for independent socialist candidates to gain power in America's two-party system. Gus Newport, a socialist mayor in Berkeley, California, from 1979 to 1987, faced limits from state and federal governments hostile to his progressive ideas. Across the ocean, Ken Livingstone was a radical politician who became the mayor of London. Even his own National Party leader, Tony Blair, tried to stop him. Livingstone's story shows how government rules can limit what a mayor can do. Earlier, Ronald Reagan, when governor of California, used very strong words against students protesting at UC Berkeley. This harsh talk from a powerful leader is similar to how President Trump speaks about Mamdani now. Reagan even promised to use state power to control protests. These past examples offer important lessons. They show that Mamdani will likely face many obstacles. He might struggle to get federal money or approvals. He may also find that his power as mayor has limits placed by state or national laws. History teaches us that making big changes is difficult, especially when powerful leaders at higher levels disagree. Mamdani will need much strength to make his ideas work for New York City. 6. Two different ideas. President Donald Trump and Mayor Zohran Mamdani see the world in very different ways. Their ideas about how society should work are almost opposite. Mamdani believes that many problems in cities come from private companies and rich people making too much money. He thinks that housing is too expensive because landlords seek big profits. He also believes that a few very rich people have too much wealth. Mamdani wants to use government power to help regular people. He wants to tax rich people and large companies more to fund public services. He suggests ideas like freezing rent prices so they do not go up. He also wants more public services like city-run grocery stores or free public transport. Mamdani thinks that people, through democracy, can make choices to change the economy so it helps everyone. President Trump has a very different idea. He thinks that the free market is the natural and best way for society to work. He believes that people should be free to make money and that the government should not interfere too much. Trump sees Mamdani's ideas, like heavily taxing the rich or government control over housing, as a danger to personal freedom and to capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system where private people or companies own most businesses. For Trump, interfering with market forces leads to a loss of freedom and can break down society. He believes the market offers the best path to prosperity. This is why President Trump often calls Mamdani's ideas communism. He genuinely believes that democratic socialism, with its focus on government intervention and wealth redistribution, is a dangerous first step. Trump thinks that allowing elected majorities to heavily regulate wealth moves a society toward a totalitarian system, which he fears could lead to dictatorship. Mamdani, however, clearly states he is a democratic socialist, not a communist. He explains that democratic socialism works within a democratic system and a market economy. It aims to make things fairer and give more public services, but it does not remove private property or democracy. This deep disagreement about how the economy should work is the main reason for their conflict. 7. What will happen? President Donald Trump has made it clear what he plans to do about Mayor Zohran Mamdani. He will continue to attack Mamdani with strong, angry words. He calls Mamdani a communist and a lunatic. Trump uses these words on social media and in speeches. This helps him to make his supporters happy. It also tries to make Mamdani look very bad. Trump wants to stop other cities from choosing leaders like Mamdani. Trump has also said he might stop federal money from going to New York City. He said he would only give the very minimum amount. He believes that giving money to New York under Mamdani would be wasting it. However, the law says that Congress controls federal money. The president cannot just stop funds because he disagrees with a city's leader. Courts have stopped Trump from doing this in the past. This means Trump's power to cut money is limited. Beyond cutting money, Trump's government could make other problems for New York City. His administration might slow down federal approvals for city projects. They could make it harder for the city to follow federal rules. These actions might not be as big as cutting all money, but they can still cause many problems for the city's work. Trump has also mentioned using the National Guard in New York. This is a big threat. But for the National Guard to be sent, the state governor would need to agree. New York's governor is a Democrat, so it is not clear if she would allow it. This threat creates political pressure, but it might not happen. Trump might also try to challenge Mamdani's plans in court. If Mamdani starts new city rules that Trump does not like, his government could sue New York City. This would tie up city projects and plans in legal fights. It is important to understand that Trump likely will not cut all federal money. This is because Congress has the power over money, not the president alone. Also, hurting New York's economy too much would not look good for Trump. He wants to be seen as someone who helps the economy. This fight between President Trump and Mayor Mamdani is a big test. It shows the problems that can happen between the national government and city governments. It will show how much power a president has over a city that chooses a different path. It also shows how much a city can do when the president is against it. The outcome will tell us a lot about how American government works today. 8. The future of America. This conflict is more than just a fight between two men, Mayor Zohran Mamdani and President Donald Trump. It is a big test for American democracy. This situation asks important questions. Can a large city choose a new path for itself, even if the country's president does not agree? The United States government is made up of different levels: national, state, and local. This idea is called federalism. This fight will show how much power a city truly has to make its own choices when the national leader opposes them. President Donald Trump has used strong words against Mayor Mamdani. He has said he might stop federal money for New York City. He has also talked about other actions, like sending the National Guard. But the rules of the Constitution limit his power to do these things. Congress controls federal money, not only the president. Courts have stopped similar presidential actions before. This means Trump's threats might be more about political words than about real actions he can take. Still, these words create tension and can make things harder for the city and its people. This struggle shows a deeper difference in ideas about how America should work. Mamdani's victory in New York City could inspire other places. Many cities in America face similar problems. These include high housing costs, struggles for working families, and unequal wealth. If Mamdani can bring real changes to New York, other cities might want to elect leaders like him. This could change politics in many parts of the country, leading to new ways of governing cities. Cities have often been places where new ideas are tried out first. This is like a laboratory for new policies. This conflict will show if cities can still be these laboratories for new ways of thinking and acting. What happens in New York will show us a lot about the future of politics in America. Will cities be able to try new ideas even if the national government does not like them? Or will the president's power always be stronger than local choices? This fight will help answer these important questions about who holds power in the country. It will show if local democracy can truly work in a different way. The outcome will tell us much about the future path of how America is governed, and if local voices can truly lead the way for change. What do you think will happen between President Trump and Mayor Mamdani, and how might it affect other cities?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.